What's up, Deadheads? It's Brian Castrillo, and I want to talk about Shane Walsh, of course portrayed by the incredibly talented Jon Bernthal. We also know him as the Punisher. But before I get into that, I want you to hear his answer to a fan question about how he felt he should have died on The Walking Dead.
How did you feel about how you died in The Walking Dead, and did you like your death? Like how you did? I kind of already know the answer now.
No, it's cool. You know, it's a good. That's also a good question, and I don't know how to do this one short either. But you want the long answer or the short answer? Long answer is that we really want. You know, I've said it before in places, so forgive me if you've heard it before. But it was very close to the death was going to be different. You know, Andy Lincoln and I had a very different kind of idea for how that scene was going to play out. And I was really disappointed that they didn't go that way. But the way that I wanted Shane to die was the exact sort of same way, except after he takes Randall, the prisoner, out and kills him, takes Rick out into the woods. They get into the argument. He says, "I'm a better man than you. I've been with your wife," all that crazy crap. And then Rick says, "What are you going to do? You're going to kill me? You're going to kill me right here?" And then Rick was going to throw his gun away. And then I kept pushing him with my gun, like I was going to kill him, and I basically forced him to stab me. And then when I reanimated as a zombie, I wanted Rick to pick up my gun and try to shoot me as a zombie, but he would just go click, 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 and the gun was going to be empty. And then Carl would come out and blast old Shane, because what I thought was that Shane brought Rick out into the woods to make Rick be the kind of man enough to raise Shane's baby. And that it was this act of both unbelievable sort of, ridding him from the world, because Shane knew that he was too dangerous to sort of be a part of this. But at the same time, Rick needed to take that step in order to raise his baby. And in a way, it would be a very perverse thing, because he'd very much infect Rick's mind. You know, when Rick realized that the gun was never loaded, but. We argued a lot, and Andy and I really loved this idea that I came up with, and they decided not to go that way. But I think there was really there's still very much a flavor of that in the way that we played it, and it was very much in my head that part of what I was trying to do is take my own life in that scene. So yeah, this got heavy, dude. Yeah.
So what you guys think of that? I love Jon Bernthal's answer, and to be quite honest, in the scene that we got in The Walking Dead when, Rick and Shane fight, I actually would have preferred his version, where the bullets were not even in the gun at all. Jon Bernthal's version actually made sense, and I think that probably would have suited the storyline a little bit better. But I actually had a different scenario for Shane. I wanted him to last a little bit longer in the show. And no, I didn't want him to last throughout the entire show, because this is Rick's story. We need Rick in there. But this is how I would have done it. Now, I wanted him to last to the prison. And think about everything that's going on during the prison. You got the governor, of course, played by David Morrissey. And the governor is my favorite villain. And then, he's trying to attack the prison. You got Rick trying to keep everybody safe. You got walkers coming in. And then think about Lori giving birth to Judith. Now, of course, Judith is more than likely Shane's daughter, but there was no DNA test, so, it still could be his. And for all intents and purposes, that will always be Rick's daughter. But besides that, think about how Shane is going to act, when he finds out Lori dies, and just proven that Rick could not keep her safe. And then, of course, Carl's there. Judith is born, and he, of course, is going to believe that that's his daughter. And you got that dynamic within the prison. You got the governor on the outside. And I would have loved to seen Jon Bernthal and David Morrissey portray their characters in a scene together, because those two are amazing actors, and I would have loved to have seen that. But now the dynamic that I want to bring from the comics. Now, there is a character named Thomas Richards. Thomas Richards is a serial killer in the comics, and he ended up unaliving the Green Twins in the comics. Now, Lou Temple, he actually played Axel, and that's, of course, me. I got to meet him at Horror Hound in Cincinnati. And Lou Temple gave an interview how he originally had thought that he was going to portray that part of the story as a serial killer. Of course, it never happened, but imagine if Axel did play that serial killer. Imagine the governor on the outside trying to, get that craziness. You got Shane going crazy because he's pretty much vindicated that Rick could not keep Lori safe. Judith is there. He wants his daughter. Imagine that dynamic. You got walkers everywhere. Now you got Axel possibly playing the serial killer role. And let's say, and he was supposed to actually kill a major character. Maybe it would have been, Andrea. It could have been Beth. It could have been even Carol. But imagine, that does happen. And then, Rick sees that and he's in a fight with, Axel, who is getting close to, killing him. You got the governor from the outside coming in. And I would have actually had Shane save Rick in that moment. He would have killed Axel instead of the governor, because while that death where the governor got Axel was shocking, I thought it would have, been a bigger moment had Shane ended up, protecting Rick in that moment. Now, of course, we had some amazing moments between these two guys on the show, but what do you guys think? Now, think of that, like Shane's there, you got Axel, trying to take out Rick. Shane, of course, is pissed off at Rick because, he couldn't keep Lori safe, and then he wants his daughter. You got the governor trying to come in, and of course, him and the governor has got to have a scene together. Imagine the chaos and the craziness that would have made I think the prison scene more intense, more exciting. It was still, I love the prison was one of my favorite, it probably top 3 seasons easily on the show. But that's why I wanted him to last to the prison, just to see how he would have reacted to Lori dying, to Judith being born, and also throw in that dynamic of the Thomas Richards part from the comics, having that serial killer. Axel could have played him, and Axel, of course, taking out a big character. Hopefully not Carol, because we all love Carol. But that, and almost killing Rick, I think that would have been really cool. It would have been intense. But what do you guys think? Am I crazy in this one, having him last the prison? What do you guys think? I would have loved it.